am here speaking with an award-winning illustrator and author from Madrid, Spain. Am I correct about that, Gus?
Yeah, I was born in Brazil, right? But I'm living in Madrid for 2 years. So yeah, I'm based in Madrid right now.
So he is doing all of us a favor in dialing in what is the afternoon for us, the evening for him. Gus,
Yeah.
before I ask you about your excellent new book, which comes out in a few days, how's your day going? Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity of being here, talking to you, talking about the book. So let me show you. This is my, this is like my new book, Taylor Swift Unofficial Search and Find Biographies, right? So, well, my day is being very good. I love to do what I do, so I've been working a lot and drawing a lot, and I like to describe myself like an illustrator who loves to do research. So
Mhm.
it's kind of half of my time I'm studying and making research or on some theme or on some celebrity and or some special character, and the other half of time I'm basically drawing. So my day looks like this, and I think this book is like is the result of all these years of drawing detailed illustrations and making detailed research. And well, that's it. We can discuss more about this book. As you can see, it's very detailed. It's
Yes.
drawn in that style that people know, like, well, do you know that books like Where is Waldo books? So this is a style that we call search and find style. So lots of people, lots of Easter eggs, lots of funny situations, and well, that's it. I've made this about Taylor Swift career. It's a visual biography, all drawn in search and find style.
Understood. So Taylor Swift, I'm going to say, is one of the most internationally appealing, widely appealing mainstream stars of the moment. Now, we're doing this from the Freeport Memorial Library. One of our famous sons is Flavor Flav, and some people have called him King Swifty because he covered a Taylor Swift song on The Masked
Okay.
Singer. So there's a lot of appeal to Taylor Swift. Do you remember the first time you heard Taylor Swift's music?
Yeah, I think the first music I actually heard, well, that I remember that I enjoyed was like Shake It Off. And well, I know it looks like obvious, like fans love this song, but I actually love this song too. And but there is one thing specifically about Taylor Swift, which is when I started drawing this book, I didn't know a lot about her. Like I knew few songs, or I thought that I knew few songs, and then when I had this, when the my publisher at the at Cider Mill Press kind of told me like, we want to do a visual biography in your style about Taylor Swift. I was like, oh, okay. I have lots of research to do, but I already knew that I would have lots of visual content to work with because I know the all the stuffs that she prepares for the concerts or the music videos. And as I started researching about Taylor's life, like listening to all albums, watching all the music videos, I kind of realized that I knew much more stuff than I thought about her. Like everywhere I am at the streets, in a bookstore, or in the subway, there is some song from Taylor Swift playing, and I didn't know by the time that they were all from Taylor Swift, but right now I'm like, okay, this one is from Midnights, and this other one is from Folklore. So I, I, I just uh, realized that, well, that's it. She's everywhere, and for me, listening to her when I walk through different places and locations kind of feels familiar to me now. So I have this good feeling of being like, well, I'm walking here and this is Taylor Swift. I know about her life. I know about her ideas and concepts. And well, that's it. The first song I think it was Shake It Off, but possibly I have heard other songs before, but this is the one that I remember.
Understood. That's a great answer. And again, you are an award winning illustrator and artist, and you do a lot of projects besides books. Now, something that catches my eye about this book, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of hidden things inside the book itself and the artwork. When
Yeah.
you are doing one of these pieces of art, one of these drawings, whatever you want to call it is that you do, when in the process do the hidden Easter eggs come in? Is it the last thing you do?
Well, actually, before I start drawing, as I told you, I like to make some research, but researching process is like a bit chaotic. So lots of post-its, lots of notes on books or websites. I save lots of print screens. And as I saw some interesting stuff, I was like saving them and putting a special note like, hey, this is cool. For example, the first spread, I will show it here. The first spread for the book is about her debut album. So the first Taylor Swift album, right? So it shows a lot of her early career. So the place where she lived when she was a child, which used to be like a Christmas tree farm.
Right.
uh, Later, they moved to other houses, and eventually, she was kind of asking her parents, "Hey, let's move to Nashville because that's where things happen regarding country music. We have the all the record business companies, etc." So this is drawn here. It's like the her trajectory from childhood days to teenage days, and of course the first album. And one interesting thing, I was trying to look for uh, images and video footage about her childhood. And well, Taylor usually would share something, some picture in a Tumblr years ago or something like that with her fans. But two things caught my eye, which were two music videos that she did, which were one
Mm-hmm.
is called Christmas Tree Farm, and the other one is called The Best Day. In both of those videos, we have lots and lots of videos that her family recorded. So these videos show like very special and precious moments that from her life with her small brother at the time, or going to the mall with her mother after a bad day at school. So uh, and I found that these videos were like no image was used like as a filler, because I know that Taylor is like an Easter egg lover. So she wouldn't, well, I imagine from my research, she wouldn't just add some image to a special video like this two that I just mentioned without having some meaning, something special to say. And for example, in these two videos, I was able to see some very cool images, and some of them eventually become Easter eggs in the book. For example, we have an image where she is reading a book with her brother in the bed, and it's a bit difficult to see if this is exactly the book that I was imagining, but I can say to you that this is a search and find book. So she was reading a search and find book with her brother, and I imagined that it could be a Where's Waldo book, for example. Can't say
Right.
for Yeah, can't say for sure because the quality of the image and this kind of thing. But I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm making a search and find book, and from what I see here, she and her brother loved this kind of book. But other things, for example, there is a small dog in the front of the cover of the Christmas Tree Farm single. And she is like, it's a picture where she's like in the front of the farm holding this small dog. And I was looking at the dog, okay. And I made research to kind of try to discover, the which kind of dog it was. The I don't know how we say the race or the name of the dog. I was like searching for
Right.
this stuff. And one thing I thought it was very interesting was I was watching this, the Christmas tree farm video, and Taylor is playing with other kids in the snow, and you know, lots of kids playing, her brother, etc. But and we can see a small ball of fur kind of running from one side to another, and it's very blurry. And I was like, which animal is that? It's like maybe this is a rabbit, maybe and then I just figured out I was like, oh no, this possibly is the small dog that she's showing carrying in the single cover. So there were lots of special moments like that that you only arrive, you only find these moments if you are deep into research. So uh, yeah, the Easter eggs, the ideas for them, they would come, they would appear as I was going deep into research. And well, there are others, for example, related to music videos. For example, for the red spread, which shows like her epic parties, Fourth of July parties, at Rhode Mansion, so Rhode
Yeah.
Island Mansion. For this one, for example, I had the idea of like, okay, so there is this thing about the red scarf, which is an important item, in the song lyric of All Too Well. It also appears in the music video that Taylor made later for the Taylor's version of the song. And I was like, okay, I want to hide like 13 different red scarves through the drawing. So you can spot in one part there is a fan giving it as a gift to another person. In another part, there is like, someone wearing it, but with lots of, kind of entangled in the red scarf. So I tried to figure out some funny moments that could have relation with these Easter eggs that Taylor already gives to all the fans. So I think this was kind of the process. A bit chaotic, but of course, there is some organization, some order also in the chaos as we develop the process.
Right. So my follow up to that is such a detail oriented book. And of course, there's business negotiations of actually making a book. How long was it from knowing you were going to write this book to turning in the final draft or the final manuscript?
Okay, from what I remember, it was like 9 to 10 months. Okay, so it started a bit slower as I was, I I've always did lots of research, but this was the first time I was doing a research considering the whole life, the biography of an important person. So it took some time for me to understand how to make this research. So I started kind of using some cardboards with post-its and drawing some maps and different ideas. Which color of each different post-it would mean something different, like, okay, the yellow ones for Easter eggs and the green
Right.
ones for the classic outfit. So it was very chaotic. In the end of the day, I kind of ended up making everything as I normally do, which is working in my computer with my digital drawing tablet. So uh, it was like 3 months of research, reading stuff, making notes, and etc. And more 6 months of drawing, painting, sharing what I was doing with the design team of Cider Mill and HarperCollins. So my publisher and the creative director would bring also their feedback, and we would adjust some things like, hey, this situation could be more adequate in this spread and this other one in the other spread, like studying the timeline of events. So it was like, I like to think this kind of illustration I do as a living thing, because well, I may have the research, I may have a detailed sketch, but while I'm finalizing, it's like I have 1 hour more to finish the drawing. If I have an idea, I will put there. And if we're like one day before printing the book and there is space to add something which like looks special, looks important, I'm like, okay, let's go back, let's change the illustration. So for me, it's a living book. Of course, it will be even more, vivid and a living thing now that it will be released very soon in October 7th. And well, I hope people really enjoy. For me, it feels like I finished it drawing it yesterday. It's been some months since I finished it, but for me, it's very fresh, and I'm very anxious for people to share with me all these all these very cool things that Taylor created, and well, the comments and jokes and different games and challenges that I suggest here in the book using her ideas and visual concepts. So uh, that's it.
Well, that definitely clears up how long it takes to make a book of this quality. And
Yeah.
before we went live, you and I were talking a little bit about other music that we like. And I find that most people who are painters, designers, people who are drawing have music on while they are creating. And I'm
Yeah.
curious, who are some of the artists that you like listening to? And it's fine not to say Taylor Swift. It's fine to say
Okay.
metal or other genres.
Okay. Well, I've been listening a lot to some specific artists. For example, there is a an artist. It's becoming more famous uh, everywhere in the world, and because of an animated series at Netflix, which is Audrey Nuna. No, I don't know
Yes.
if I'm speaking correctly. Her last album, Trench, for me, it's like I love it. It's so fresh, it's raw, and it's pop. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but it's very. I feel she's speaking from her heart, and I like hip hop. I like electronic, background in songs. So I've been listening to it a lot, and I'm happy that now you have the Netflix animation and more people are knowing about her because I think she's very talented. And but I like to listen lots of hip hop from my country, like from Brazil. I'm always listening because as I'm drawing, I like to imagine the ideas and the details that they are sharing about their lives, right? So I listen a bit about American hip hop too, like Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg. I like it too, and also I have a you know uh 80s rock and heavy metal background, which were like the things that I listened when I was a teenager, and some of the things I still listen until nowadays. So I love Iron Maiden, for example. I think a bit of my love for Easter eggs and detailed illustrations comes a bit from the Iron Maiden covers, because
From
you would have
Eddie.
an illustration about old Egypt, another one with a cyberpunk scenario, and you would find some small hidden message. So for me, that was like heaven. I was looking at the small book that was with the with the city. So I think these are the things that I like to listen. Yes, you're right. I love listening to songs while I'm drawing. I think it keeps me in a good pace of working and imagining too.
Well, hearing Iron Maiden, looking at your artwork for this title, it reminds me of an Eddie artwork piece for Iron Maiden meets Where's Waldo, in that it's a polite version of what you might see Eddie from Iron Maiden, or who's the Megadeth guy that
Oh
is
yeah,
all.
there is the Megadeth guy, the school head guy. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't remember his name, but I love Megadeth too.
yeah, so it's great to hear that you're very open minded about music. I remember that
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, early into her career here, she did a TV special on CMT, Country Music Television. It was her and Def Leppard, and they were trying to show
Oh,
how
cool.
they inspired each other. So, what I
Okay.
mean is, Taylor Swift is not just a country or pop artist, she likes everything just like you, Gus.
Yeah, actually I was like when my publisher came with the idea of drawing about a visual biography about Taylor Swift, I was like, okay, pop music, and I was a bit like, okay, high school songs, etc. But then I took a look at the albums and I saw the Reputation cover, and I was like, okay, so she made some move here towards hip hop and electronica. So let me hear this. And my first impressions were great. I love, Endgame. I love Are You Ready for It? I really like it. I know it's an album that by the time the fans were a bit scared or surprised, but I know that this album is also a grower. Like fans now they are understanding and they are liking it a lot. And there's another interesting thing because I had some conversations with my sister. She's like 26 years old and she's been a Swiftie for since always. And I was like approaching her to kind of understand the best way to approach the Taylor universe. And she told me, hey guys, I think besides, you already like Reputation, but maybe you will like Folklore and Evermore. And I was like, okay. And that's also because I had a time, I told you my musical, taste is
Right.
chaos. But I love it, listening to songs from Tori Amos, or another American folk singer that I love is Annie DiFranco. I don't know if I'm
Oh
saying her
yeah,
name
Ani
right.
DeFranco from Buffalo. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, perfect. I love it. It's like it's so rich. It looks simple, like guitar, but it's like spoken words. It's hip hop. It's political. It's poetry. It's incredible. So this intimate relation, the soul artist with his or her music and speaking from the heart, is something that I really love. And I think Taylor had this movement. She always has, actually. I think it's something that I admire in Taylor's work, is like since the first albums, like when she was singing 15, it's like, okay, it's a teenage thing, but I totally can get it. A 15 years girl listening to the song and understanding what she's singing. It's very beautiful. And as she develops her career, she decides, like, no, I love country, but I want to make something more, more varied. I want to go try other directions and explore. So she has this, a strong artistic posture. So when I heard about Folklore and Evermore, I was like, okay, this is interesting, because it was like, let's take a bit all the lights and all the colors and production and etc., and let's make something more, raw, more, I don't know, more. I don't know how to say. The only thing I know is that it has
Diverse
everything
or
to do with
well-rounded,
pandemic
maybe.
time. Sorry, Darren, please.
Maybe more well-rounded or more diverse.
Yeah, that's it. And so ended up that I took some time to enjoy the Evermore and Folklore songs, but nowadays I must say that also, along with Reputation, Folklore, and Evermore are in my playlists, and I also like a lot Midnights. So I think I kind of, from some point, I understand Taylor's career before Reputation. But if I were to tell you, like, what do you like specifically about Taylor? I think from Reputation to what she's been doing now is like my favorite approach to the songs.
Got it. So, one other thing that I want to know about you is most creative people are very busy. They finish a project and then they go, what's next? And they start to look for other things, or maybe they work on a few things at the same time. This book that you wonderfully put together comes out in 6 days. Are we allowed to know what's coming next? What projects that you're working on right now?
Yeah. Actually, I'm building a relation with Cider Mill Press and HarperCollins, which is like a very special relation. So we are building something special here. Like, our idea is kind of have an universe of search and find books made. So yes, I'm already working on the new one. I'm actually finishing it in, you know, until the end of this month. I will finish it, which is like a Halloween book, right? But with my own twist to it. So, well, I'm drawing the Halloween book that I would enjoy and like reading when I was a kid. So I'm creating some monsters and, bringing some different situations, and kind of storyline of the book is not there is not an story in the book. It's like different scenes, but it's like each classic monster is inviting the reader to his own specific Halloween party. So Dracula is inviting the reader to a big Halloween party at his castle, and the zombies are inviting to a party in the graveyard, and then you have a part of the graveyard which is like in the upper area,
Mm-hmm.
with the tombstones and all. But you also have the party happening in the underground, like an underground rock house. I don't know, rock concert place, where you go underground and you party hard. But it's, you are partying hard with zombies. And so I'm bringing these. I like to think that what we are doing now is like thinking about creating search and find experiences for the for the modern day, for the days that we live now. So lots of pop culture, lots of references that people will be able to relate. So, and but drawn in that very detailed style, very rich style, full of fun moments that we all know from, Where is Waldo books. So for me, it's like this. And taking like my inspirations from tradition, and I love Where's Waldo and Martin Handford is like God for me. And I like, okay, now that I can do this nowadays, how I can make it like paying homage to the tradition, but proposing new things to our days. So that's it. I'm working in a Halloween book. You will know more about it in the next few months. And well, let's see. We are figuring out also which could be the next, cool person we could draw and write a visual biography about. So this is still being discussed, but yeah, let's see.
Hopefully, that next person is an artist that you're a big fan of. But for us to find out when books are ready or projects are ready, what's the best way to follow you? Is it Instagram? Is it your
Okay.
website?
Yeah, I have one. I have my website. Okay, I think it's the best source to for finding, information, official information on releases and interviews, and putting everything there, links and etc. And so gus-morais.com. That's my website, and you can also find me on Instagram. I'm trying to be more active on social media. It's difficult for me, like working, drawing a lot, and being more present. But this is a personal objective. I will be more present and share more stuff. And yes, of course, as this book is being released right now, I will be sharing, fans' feedbacks. I will be sharing with the fans uh, small, curious facts and details that I made for this book. So I'm very anxious actually to talk about the book, So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it would be like Instagram.com, and I think it's Gus_Morais. Okay, so that's my user account, Gus_Morais, and that's it. I would love to share more content with you on this media.
Well, congratulations on seeing this full project through. Looking forward to the future ones. I hope to see Eddie in a future project, but I just
Uh,
remembered the Megadeth person is named Vic Rattlehead. So maybe Vic
Vic,
Rattlehead 2.
perfect. Vic, yeah. And he has like these chains and covering his eyes. So, yeah, he must make like some, some appearance maybe. I don't know. A feat in the Iron Maiden book.
Well, we'll keep that a secret. But for now, hey,
Okay.
congratulations on your continued success. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your time, and thank you for staying up late into the evening with us, Gus.
Okay. Thank you very much for, for everything, for the opportunity and for being also so kind. It was, a pleasure talking to you.
And thanks to everyone still watching. We'll see you on a future broadcast.